DJ all the way. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back David Johnson, fresh off 100 yards on the ground a week ago, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The City of Angels showing it can be loud and raucous. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad emerged from the tunnel. They're ready for football and ready to watch their Rams do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jared Goff and the Rams set to take over on offense. For Goff last year, of course, the disappointing end to a terrific season. His development really took a big step forward throughout. Nearly 4,700 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, playoff wins over the Cowboys and the Saints before that Super Bowl loss to New England. Now a first down throw, gone. And incomplete to open things up. And quickly now, here's a look at the Rams offense.
And I think the entire league benefited when Andrew Whitworth made the decision to come back for his 13th NFL season. Still one of the best offensive tackles in the game. 4 Pro Bowls, 2 times first-team All-Pro. He's now 10th among active players in the NFL in games started.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. A look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They go play action with Gurley. Now gone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And he's going to go down again. Hassan Reddick has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Oh, what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race now. This is into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. And I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The numbers a week ago for Johnson. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Looking to throw on second down. Pruitt airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate, that one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to throw. Pruitt on the screen. This is Edmonds. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback, because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
2nd and 10. Goff again. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. You know, you wonder how the Rams' game plan in Super Bowl 53 might have been different with a healthy Cooper Kupp. He was injured on November 11, torn ACL, out for the year. But he was on his way to a 1,000-yard season in his 2nd NFL campaign. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. This complete to the tight end, Clay. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 61 yards.
And you know what he did all week in preparation for this one? Hydrated.
Salivated.
Yes. Stretched. Dreamed. Going against the last team in the league against the pass.
Yeah.
He expects to catch everyone thrown today.
You're right. They have struggled 32 of 32 in that category. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
We got this.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Pruitt. Being chased out left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, apart from Kyler Murray, not too many mobile QBs in this year's rookie class, but some good scrambling there to get the first.
58, come on. They can't hang with that.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school. And now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
60 Pittsburgh.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be an Arizona first down on a gain of 17.
Here we go.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Set. 18 Gator.
Come on, let's go.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Charles Clay, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out. On the field, here comes Los Angeles. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. 4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there. Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And an alley to run. And down he'll go at the 25. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Pruitt. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley, his 21st touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well.
Go to something else. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
36.
On first down, Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on third down. Operating from the gun, Pruitt. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now it's Gurley. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Like 20.
10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
Go tonight. Like 20. Hey, show.
On 2nd and 7, Goff. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Goff. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And our focus now moves on to Larry Fitzgerald. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game, though.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Pruitt. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nikel Roby-Coleman. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Goff. His throw incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Keep playing hard. Ready? 15-1. 15-1. Let's get it.
To throw on 2nd down. Pruitt. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Looking to throw. Pruitt. And he's got Fitzgerald. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver, that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He sets to fire deep. This is caught. A huge play there for Arizona. 54 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Todd Gurley and the Rams offense set to take over. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual, because ordinarily when you set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation. And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Goff now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Now Goff. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Oh, that really would have been something to see, but he's denied by the framework.
Do you remember seeing David Akers in Green Bay a few years ago on opening day? He had a 63-yarder to end the half, hit the crossbar, and go over. So sometimes it works for you, and sometimes it works against you.
And this time, it's against. A Cardinal 1st down on a gain of 13. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off-play action. Pruitt. And he fends him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Clay Matthews in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. 2nd and 14. He's got a man complete. It's Clay.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on fourth down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
A good pickup, 17 yards, and also a Rams first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else.
That's it, baby.
The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the jet sweep, they get this to Cooks. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. Look at the big man rumble, and they bring this one back. A scoop and score, a fumble recovery touchdown for Arizona. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Extra point try now for Dawson. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Goff now looking to throw. He gets it to Gurley, complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Rams on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Henderson will try and run for the first. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Samson Abukum in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Now
Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. This is caught. It's close. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards is the pickup there, and a first down for L.A. Going to run the sweep here. This is Cobb. Tackle made there by Buda Baker.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Pruitt. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. 2nd and 4. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Eric Weddle there to break that one up.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful with the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force it.
And Fitzgerald has got it. Touchdown Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald. Touchdown number 18 on the year. Here the Cardinals push further out in front. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now Dawson for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. And that's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running, trying to get mismatches for him, different types of routes he will run downfield, short, medium, long. All those things will come into play as he tries to get to that magical number.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there, but now it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
We got this.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
60 Pittsburgh. Hey, watch the right. Watch the right.
Throwing on first down. Pruitt underneath for Johnson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Hassan Reddick, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Here's Johnny Hekker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Get ready, get ready.
So we have come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. And it's the Seahawks who have the lead in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. From there, let's head to the foot of the Rockies. Denver Colorado, to check in on the Broncos. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Joe Flacco with 2 touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Hollywood Marquise Brown, a touchdown catch in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals' offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Trying to go back to Clay that time. 3rd down here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. If you get careless with the football, look out.
Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's gone. And that one's complete to Gurley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Goff finding Cooks on a big play. 43 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Todd Gurley. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Rams are able to draw a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are, But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but it'll be second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Samson Abukum, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
50 play.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Pruitt airing this one out. And that's going to be intercepted. Taken by the Pro Bowler, Eric Weddle. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And Gurley on first down, no chance that time. He's swallowed up for a loss of about 3. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Touchdown, LA! Brandon Cooks, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Right here, right here. Tie it left. Hey, 4 down.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Back to throw. Pruitt forced out to his left. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Pruitt Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that'll bring up 4th down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. So Jared Goff, he is the focus of our player spotlight. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel it?
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down LA. Goff now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They don't go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and now it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Goff. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. Call it a gain of 3. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Goff. He gets it to Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. So many questions about Todd Gurley in the offseason. How good is the knee? I mean, remember, he had a heavy workload the last couple years, nearly 4,000 yards from scrimmage, 40 total touchdowns, but just 4 carries in the NFC Championship game, 10 in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what kind of usage he gets this season. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. From the red zone now, Goff. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. 12 more yards there and another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Muhammad Wilkerson elevated a tempo program that was looking for players like him, and he's carried that on into the NFL.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. He's at the 50, the 40, 20, 10, 5, and he will not get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. Well, there you go, from red zone to red zone on that fumble return.
It's amazing how fast things can turn around, isn't it? I mean, it looks like one team's driving, got everything taken care of. All of a sudden, the ball's on the ground and popped in the air, and whoosh, there you go in the other direction. Good job by the defense. You see how they practice that, too. You can tell. Coordinated. As soon as they got the ball, everyone turned to block someone and try and help him along the way.
And now set up here in terrific field position. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. To Johnson again. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Corey Littleton. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go, and move on to the next series.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. 7 yards there and a first down. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Gurley. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. DJ Swearinger, a sack on the safety blitz.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Goff now to throw. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he's on to punt for L.A. Now it's Peterson. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at point.
And that's going to be intercepted. Taken by the Pro Bowler Eric Weddle. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. Jared Goff, 4 times last year, he led the Rams on a fourth-quarter comeback. He obviously didn't do it in Super Bowl 53, but can he do it here? They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Here's Goff, going for it all. And it's caught for a Rams touchdown by Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the fourth.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air, because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Let's go, baby.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They were trying to erase that deficit in 1 play.
They certainly were, but how about the reaction time and the instincts back deep to force the incompletion? We might need to mark this one down. We may look back and say, that was a game-saving play.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 45 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And the Rams now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. It's
a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Braun. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. From the 50, it's gone. He rifles one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Watch tight, tight ends right. Watch tight, tight.
On 1st and 10, Pruitt. They shakes him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
60 or.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
On 1st down, Pruitt. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Robert Kimdichie in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Gone. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense has got it. And this is recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room, or they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And they've got to be still reeling from the events of a moment ago. What a turn on that last play.
You're knocking on the door. You're about to take it in. You think you're going to get some points on the board. Instead, you cough it up and watch them take it the rest of the way to the opposite end zone. That's a two-score swing that you just gave up.
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw, gone. And Woods has it, complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 36.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's gone. They'll get this one to Cup, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Again, gone. That's taken in by Henderson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
58, boys, 58, 58, Mike. Rabbit.
Again they run with Gurley. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, 1st and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Now Goff on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. That's Kupp for a Ram touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Johnson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Pruitt. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Dawson tacks on the point after, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. So Goff and the Rams down by 12. 2:01 remaining. They'll have one play here just north of the 2-minute warning. Goff now looks to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go on 4th. Gone. And that's going to be intercepted. The All-Pro corner, Patrick Peterson. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A very solid gain of 27. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now gone. They'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. Here's Goff. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Gone. This will be caught by Brown. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7.
58, right over there, right over there.
Goff throwing again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target, and it'll bring up third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. To throw is Goff. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So that drives 7 plays in length. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So 3rd down, and defensively the Rams have added 2 extra DBs. And they will take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Arizona, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for L.A., this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA. Start your week by installing your game plan. Start your week by installing your game plan.